Thank you very much indeed. Good evening and welcome to the show. A thing I discovered the other day, you realize that 93% females in the world are frightened of spiders? And any time they go into the bathroom and there happens to be a spider in the bath, women never pick it up and crush it or throw it out the window. They turn the taps on. And then they turn the taps off and the water going down that little pipe goes and takes the spider down there with them. And then they put the plug back in, fill the bath up and have a bath. And they think they've got rid of the spider. He has come back up the pipe and he's in behind the overflow. Next time you have a bath, just think of that. Two little beady eyes looking at him. More than two, because he's probably saying, hey, fellas, come up and have a look at it. There is strange humor all the way around our lives. Everywhere. I mean, I was sitting in a traffic jam the other day underneath Hammersmith flyover, and there's signs all over the place which says, bill stickers will be prosecuted. And I got to thinking, is there a fellow somewhere in the world called Bill Stickers who has never come out of his home? He's been in there for years because every time he comes out, he sees a big sign which says, Bill Stickers will be prosecuted. He goes, one of the most incredible signs I've ever seen in my life is a sign which says, have your ears pierced while you wait. Where the hell are you going to go? Here, I'm going to... And there's a graveyard near me which has a car park which says for patrons only. I love the thought of that. And one of the best signs I've ever seen in my life is in a graveyard outside Dublin, which said, burial ground restricted. Only dead people living in the parish can be buried here. That's a kind of Irish logic. It's logically illogical. And that's the thing about the Irish. I said to an Irish gravedigger once, I said, you often bury people? He said, only once. The Englishman goes into a hotel in Ireland and he said, I'd like a room, please. And the fellow said, certainly, sir. Would you like it with a bath or with a shower? He said, what's the difference? He said, well, you stand up in a shower and you sit down in a bath. It's logical, isn't it? Like I was on a station in Dublin once. This Englishman looking at the Irish porter, looking at the timetable. He said, I don't know why you have timetables. Damn trains on their own time. And the fellow said, sure, if you didn't have the timetables, we wouldn't know how late the trains were. I suppose, actually, the most logical people of all are drunks. The little drunk goes to confession. And the priest said, I am sorry to see you in this state. I'm really sorry. And the priest said, yes, I am sorry. He said, I'm really, really sorry. He said, yes, I am really, really sorry. He said, I am very, very sorry. He said, yes, I am very, very sorry. And the drunk says, well, I forgive you. You got one drunk walks up to another fellow and he says, what have you got in your sack? What is in that sack? You got there. Another of those hedgehogs. I got hedgehogs in my sack. So how many hedgehogs have you got in there? Yeah, I'm not going to tell you. He said, if I can guess how many hedgehogs you got in your sack, will you give me one of them? He said, I'll give you them both. The fellow goes to an auction. Doesn't want to buy anything. And a parrot comes up for sale. And he thinks, I've never had a parrot. I will buy that parrot. So the bidding starts and he says, I'll go £1. So he says, £2, £3, £4, £5. £7, £8, £9, £10. Gets for 35 quid. Sold. Goes around to collect the parrot and says to the auctioneer, he says, does the parrot talk? He said, of course he talks. Who do you think was bidding against you? You get a character, he's really got what they call a nagging wife. God. And she decides to go and see her mother for the weekend. And while she's away, he thinks, great! Get all the friends in, all the birds, we'll have a party. And they have a wild, stinking party on the Saturday night. And he wakes up on Sunday morning, and he's in bed with 3 women. And as he wakes up, the door opens, and there, standing, is the wife. And she goes, hello, hello, hello. And he says, what's the matter? Aren't you talking to me anymore? I think I might start the show now. Show some sketches. The expression used is that history often repeats itself. And I hope that's not true, because I'm going to show you some historical sketches. And if it is true, it means that you've seen them before. But then on the other hand, if history does not repeat itself, you have not seen them before. But of course, if history does repeat itself, it means that you'll see them again in about 10 years' time. And you cannot see again what you've never seen before. And that's why we're going to show them to you. Regardless.
My dearest one, it may not have escaped your attention that at the Thanksgiving ball, Miss Lucinda Delahunt was attracting the favors of my brother...
Isaiah.
Isaiah. Oh, my dear, I have to confess that at that moment I felt the pangs of jealousy. Oh, my dearest beloved one. Deep as my love for you is, and it is deep, I must confess that Miss,
Delahunt.
Delahunt's coy glances toward my brother, they evoked in my breast a stirring...
Mayor Gorman, may I have some ice?
Men of England, I say to you that you have nothing to fear from the Spanish upstart. I am your queen. And though you see standing before you the body of a weak and feeble woman, yet I do have the eye of an eagle, the tongue of a viper, the hand of a helmsman, and the heart and stomach of an Englishman. I also have the feet of Donald Duck.
Is it your wish, Captain Cook, that His Majesty's flag be raised on this territory?
I unfurl it, seaman. I hereby claim this continent of Australia for King George III.
Push off, you pommy bastard! Hey, Bruce. We've thrown the full ones.
I, Queen Boadicea, have thrown down the gauntlet of war before the Roman oppressor. I now ask you to join with me. Take up arms and march against the common enemy. I will lead you and our people to a glorious victory over the might of Rome. Follow me.
Incredible woman, that Boadicea. Really was. Fine queen. Great queen.
You all right?
Yes. Well, I'm a bit bored, actually. I mean, you come on and you sit down and you tell gags and you booze and you come bring the sketches on and I go off and I just sit up around doing nothing. I'm just bored.
Well, what do you want to do?
Well, I wouldn't mind telling a gag. Well, tell one. I'll go make a phone call. Is he gone? Telephone. Rubbish. He's got to get back. Well, I'll tell you a story about 2 Irish fellows who want to join the police force. They're sitting in the waiting room and the first one goes in to meet the inspector, and the inspector says, I'm going to just give you a little intelligent test now. What are hippies? And the fellow says, hippies are things you hang your legs on. Well, if I were to draw two horizontal lines and cross them with two vertical lines and put an X down in the corner, what would I be doing? He said, you'd be signing it. And, what does that remind you of? And the fellow says, that reminds me of Thursday. And the inspector said, how in the name of God can that remind you of Thursday? He says, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The inspector says, I'm going to ask you one last question. Who killed our Lord Jesus Christ? And the fellow says, who killed our Lord? That's a hard one. I don't know. And the inspector said, well, go out and find out. When you find out who did it, come back and tell me. And the fellow says, certainly, sir. And off he goes. Goes through the waiting room, and his friend stands up and he said, did you get the job? He said, I did. They put me on a murder case. All right, go and have a drink. Go on, have a drink. Drink. Yes, go on. All right. Was that all right, that guy? I don't know. I didn't listen to it. God, he's thick. Did he do one of those thick Irish gags? Yes. I bet he did. I don't actually mind, because I think it's very important that people have the ability within themselves to laugh at their own country. Did you know that there were 500,000 Irishmen came to England, and the IQ of Ireland dropped by 50%? And the IQ of England went up by 50%? As I was saying, it's very important to have the ability to laugh at yourselves. I'm often asked, what are my hobbies? When I have spare time, what do I do with it? Believe it or not, I actually poke around in graveyards. I don't mean that literally. I mean, I just wander around, read the gravestones. And any time I go into a graveyard and read the gravestones, I always think to myself, where are all the nasty people buried? You look at the gravestones, there actually is quite a lot of humor there. I saw one to a head waiter which said, God finally caught his eye. And the one I love is when they say, not dead, just sleeping. And I think, who the hell is he fooling? They like to rhyme things on gravestones. There's a lovely one, beneath this pile of stones lies all that's left of Sally Jones. Her name was Briggs, it was not Jones. I just used Jones to rhyme with stones. And who but the Scots would write out something like, here lie I, Martin Ingelbrod. Have mercy on my soul, dear God, as I would do if I were God, and you, dear Lord, were Martin Ingelbrod. And actually, if you wander through graveyards, make a habit of it. Enjoy it. Read the gravestones. You gradually get to know a lot about the people who are buried. And not only about the people who are buried, but the people who bury them. Especially when it comes to husband and wife. I think the most ominous one I've ever read which said, rest in peace, dear George, until we meet again. One in Ireland which said, beneath this sod is another. I read one in Wales where the man obviously detested his wife because it said, this is the sweetest spot in my life. It grows my flowers and covers my wife. And yet there's one in Gloucester which women will not be undone by. It's to her husband. She buried her husband. And all it says on the stone is, my husband is dead and here he lies. Nobody laughs and nobody cries. Where he is and how he fares, nobody knows and nobody cares. And I think one that the ladies will like, especially ladies who consider themselves to be slaves to the house, slaves to the husband and the children. And all it says on the stone is to a poor housewife. And it just says, here lies a woman who always was tired, for she lived in a house where help was not hired. Her last words on earth were, dear friends, I am going, where washing ain't done. nor stitching, nor sewing. Where everything there is exact to my wishes, for where they don't eat, there's no cleaning of dishes. Don't mourn for me now, don't mourn for me never. I'm going to do nothing forever and ever. I wonder what my epitaph will be. Here lies Dave Allen, a comedy fool, who drank and told gags as he sat on his stool. His last words on earth, the atheist wretch. Time for religion. Here's a sketch.
How many times did you have sex last week?
I think about 5 times.
Really?
Yeah.
I only had it twice. So, I better have it more times today than you do.
Pounds you don't.
All right, you're on.
Once!
Dearly beloved.
Yes, dearest.
Dearly beloved.
Yes, sweetie pie.
Dearly beloved, we will...
Will we, Popsy-Wopsy?
Really, Cynthia, can you not wait until I get home?
Oh.
Those cuddly bear angry with Popsy Wopsy. It is my work.
You have a confession to make, my son.
Yes, Father, I am a sinner.
Ah, well, we all are.
Father, I have indulged in pleasures of the flesh. My every waking moment is spent with a woman, any woman, all day, all night. I just can't help myself.
Well, all you can do is pray for strength.
Yes, Father.
Anything else?
Yes, Father. I wonder if you'd mind helping me up. I don't seem to be able to get off my knees.
To the moment in the ceremony of enthronement when the Archbishop-elect arrives at the great west door of the cathedral. It is here that he will stop, finding the door closed against him. He will solemnly knock on the door 3 times to seek admission to his cathedral church. And now the great doors will open, as they have done since time immemorial, to reveal the clergy awaiting in order of rank. There seems to be a slight hold-up. But his grace, showing great calm and dignity, repeats the time-honoured 3 knocks, and now surely the doors will open. However, the Archbishop's personal chaplain steps forward to assist his grace. Oh, this is a very moving moment. Yes. And now... they are joined by another assisting his grace in seeking the traditional entrance to the high altar and throne. Which will be revealed when the doors swing open. Well, now, as you can see, they're having a discussion, yes. And it looks as if his grace is leaving. Oh no, forgive me, I was wrong. The Dyson party are returning. I'm quite sure they will gain admission this time.
Right, back. 3. 1, 2, 3.
Always wanted to bring a church down. I was having dinner with some friends a couple of weeks ago, and as what I thought was a kind of humorous remark, I mentioned that the Pope had removed the steps to the urinals so to keep his cardinals on their toes. And most people at the table laughed except this woman. And I said, I'm sorry. I said, did I embarrass you? She said, no. I didn't understand it. And I said, what, urinals? She said, well, why should I? I'm not a Catholic. Occasionally we get English missionaries to Ireland. The young Irish priest has to kind of look after a young English priest and take him through the confessional type thing. So they're both sitting in the box one day. And he said, well, just listen to how I get on at the confessional, and that's how you apply the same sort of rules to the various sins that we have that are given us. And a woman comes in and she said, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. I've had illicit sex 3 times. And the father said, well, that's very nasty, very naughty, very unholy. Go and put £1 in the box. And out she goes. Another one comes in. She said, Father, I've had illicit sex 3 times. She said, get out, put £1 in the box. And then the verger comes in. He says, excuse me, Father, you want it on the phone. So the Irish priest said to the English priest, he said, will you look after the box when I'm away? Just go into the phone. He does. About 2 minutes later, a woman walks in. She says, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. I've had illicit sex 2 And he went, I wonder if you'd mind awfully going off and having it again, because it's 3 for £1 today. And I cannot let the series go by without telling one last gag about the Reverend Ian Paisley. He is speaking on the day of resurrection. He's standing up in his pulpit, and he talks like that. And the day will come when the Lord will destroy the world with fire and brimstone. And everybody that was ever unturned into the good Mother Earth will rise up to heaven. And when they get to the heaven, God and St. Peter will be outside the gates with the big book of retribution. And as your name is called, the good Lord will turn over and he will look down the list and he will see what you did. And if you are good in life and Christian in life, the Lord will take you to his very bosom. But if ye have been evil, if ye have been wicked, if ye have followed the ways of Satan himself, ye will be cast down. Ye will be cast down into everlasting, eternal flame. There will be a great weeping and a gnashing, a terrible gnashing of teeth. And there's one old woman sitting down there and she says, Reverend Paisley, I don't have any teeth. And Paisley said, teeth will be provided! God, that takes it out of you. Oh, well. You know, one of my pet hates in life? When people introduce other people and say, here is somebody who needs no introduction. And then they go rattling on and on and on. I'm about to introduce some sketches about various people. And I could say these people range from the Invisible Man to Romeo to Robinson Crusoe to Frankenstein. But I won't. What I will do is introduce some sketches about various people who need no introduction.
Help! Help! Oh, help! Help!
Ah! Another damsel in distress. Back, wicked dragon eye. St. George, kill you. Ah. You are safe, my pretty maiden. Raise up your pretty head.
He thinks me killed the wrong dragon. Woman. She's alive. Are you all right?
Yes.
What is your name?
No name.
No name. I shall call you Friday.
Why Friday?
Well, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
At last, I have succeeded in perfecting the machine that will give me invisibility. Just think of it. As the Invisible Man, a whole new life will open up before me. I can move from room to room without being seen. Nothing will be hidden from me. Now to achieve my lifelong ambition.
Kathy! Kathy! Kathy!
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. No! Oh, no, look at me! You ruined my beautiful clothes!
Now we go! The storm is at its height. Now is the time to connect my creature to the life-giving force of electricity.
But, Master, have you considered the effect such a tremendous voltage would have on the creature?
Igor, that is a chance we must take. Connecting. All right, now, Igor, the switch. Igor, more power! Igor! He lives!
Mammy! The sunshine's east! The sunshine's west! But I know where the sunshine's best!
I suppose one man that's made more of a humorous mark on the English language than anybody else is a man called the Reverend William Spooner. Because of him, the word spoonerism was created. It's a case of getting your kind of words mixed up. Something we've all done. Instead of parking your car in the park arc, you've just done it. You have a coffee cuppy, you glass of mulled kilk, you wait for number 39 at the stuff stop, or you're under the influence of alcohol. I don't know why it happens, actually. I heard myself today do one. We have what they call outside broadcasting cameras here, and I call them the outcast broadsiding cameras. When I was at school, I was described by my priest as a mick in the stud. And I said, don't you mean stick in the mud? He said, don't mel me what I teen. I have heard An Australian politician described the immigrant population crisis as the immigrant copulation crisis. David Steele, the Liberal leader, as a fart young smeller. And many years ago, I was listening to the Home Service. I was listening to what they call folk songs from Poland. Exactly. The announcer came on. He said, "Ladies and gentlemen, you have just been listening to 6 folk songs from Poland." And I thought, I have? I didn't even know. And I heard a fellow on Radio Ireland in Ireland. Burl Ives was in Ireland. And I was saying, and Burl Ives is over here making film in Ireland. And there's been lots of requests for one of Burl Ives' records. And we are going to play The Big Rock Candy Mountain. And they played the record and came back on and he said, and that was Burl Ives singing The Big Cock Randy Mountain. But I suppose really the best one of all was Spooner himself, when he was making a loyal toast in Oxford and called upon the students to raise their glasses and toast to the dear Queen. Didn't come out exactly like that. He said, let us glaze our rasses and toast the queer Dean. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the time for the last sketch. And our last sketch concerns man and his motor car. I suppose the time will come, due to pollution and the erosion of our countryside, where motor vehicles will be totally banned. So what's going to happen? How is man, after years of depending on his motor car, get about? What's he going to do? How's he going to cope? Will he become more human? Or will he become more like the motor car? That's what's going to happen to us all. Good night. Thank you. May God go with you.